Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. We're taking a look here at ICP, Internet Computer, and we're going to update our fibs, talk a little bit about how we took so much profit here recently from this coin with two separate trades over the last month, and more importantly, what's going to happen next year for this coin. Is it going to continue to ascend positively like it is, or is it going to pull back here? We're going to find out here in just a moment. So if you're new to the channel and not a financial advisor, I do love teaching people to trade. Really hope you can learn something here today if you want to become a better trader. CryptoCash.tech is a site, link down below, where I do help teach people how to trade cryptocurrency as well as provide trade signals for every trade that I take. They look a little something like this here. When you take a look, ICP, for example, we took 57% in 1.5 days, basically just round up, say 2 days. We took that trade on Friday and just took some profits this morning. We had a previous ICP trade with a fourth profit target, 82% in 1 month. So again, I'm perfectly fine with waiting a month for 82%. But I'm even happier when we get almost 60% in 2 days. Okay, so awesome stuff there. Gala, 105%, ID, 33%, Bake, 21% in 6 hours. So again, some really cool stuff there. This is all available, cryptocash.tech, if you want to consider registering. I will have limitations for the amount of users I can actually facilitate. We're going to start putting a restriction on that just to ensure our members are taken care of and we have a good one-on-one time with you guys. So again, thanks so much. Keep up the great work. Super proud of you guys. Very well done on this Pepe trade here, by the way. Okay. So let's talk about ICP. What's going on here? What's the big deal? Well, a lot of reasons why we took the trade previously is because we broke through this key level resistance. So you can kind of see this resistance level here. Price action broke through, came down to retest that, and hasn't looked back. Okay. So the truth is here, this coin's got a lot of strength. If you look at how Bitcoin was performing, ICP is performing quite well. Like in other words, Bitcoin is pulling back, and this coin was staying sideways and just a little down. To me, that's usually a good sign I want to look at. Okay. So let's talk about big picture and work our way down here. We can kind of see here so far with the big picture, we're overextending ourselves. Obviously, there's no doubt about it. So why take a long into an overextension? Well, there's a lot of reasons for it. We got a nice little reset here with this little 3 or 4 day candle wick, this little battle between 350 and 360, and the price continued higher. Now we're up over 70 on the RSI. Anything can happen at this point with money flow index coming up. That's a very positive sign. So keep in mind, we are overextended. There's a strong potential for a pullback that's only likely to those lower Fibonacci retracement levels here. 0.382, 0.5, 0.618. We'll talk about that in a minute, but the bottom line, this coin is extremely strong right now, and there'd be no reason to kind of try to bet against it. This is a slight exception here, though. Take a look at this. We got the 200-day SMA hanging out right there, initial rejection. If we can close above that level here today, that'd be a very, very positive sign. So $4.15 is the new resistance level. I wouldn't be surprised that rejects initially. The 200 is a very, very common place where the price action pulls back at first. Over time, it can be broken, but there's a great chance we could see a retest to effectively have some kind of interestingly shaped cup and handle. All right, so you never truly know. I love candlestick patterns like that, and that is one of them that I like to trade. But on larger time frames like that, depending on how you swing trade, you want to be very careful. Okay. Again, we swing trade with multiple entries and multiple targets, and I think it's a much more appropriate way to go by using a trading bot. Now, unfortunately, a lot of exchanges don't offer that. I'm working with an exchange right now that's implementing that. And I'll provide that to you here soon, of course, because we're going to be partnering here in a little bit. But what I'm getting at here is that we are overextended, and the daily looks pretty strong for the moment. Once more, we got that resistance. So let's talk about this here. We can see this ascending trend with the 50-day SMA working its way up. It's going to be a trend setter, okay? Commonly, the 50-day SMA is an important moving average to watch. The 20 is equally as important because that's usually the initial trend setter. So if you were to say draw a trend line up like this, for example, you'll see the price action kind of follow suit with the 20-day SMA. The 20 is kind of going to come up with it. Okay, just again, a little thing to kind of think about and look at. But once more, 4-hour time frames looking very strong. We got a nice convergence here recently. Price action's up to a 7. So you got to keep in mind we probably only got another 8 to 12 hours of continuation of the upside. Let's take a quick look at liquidity and see if there is any. Most of the liquidity has been swept. We got this previous liquidity level that has been swept right here. That was the buy side liquidity. If we take a look closer, though, we do have a fair value gap just below the price action, right here in the range of about 375 to 850. Or sorry, 385. So 375 to 385 is that range. Okay. So the price pulls back. A lot of times, what it'll do is it'll come down, it'll wick down, fill that, and then continue higher. Okay. We may even see a situation where it comes down quickly, comes back up right after to honor the ascending trend. Right now, I'm expecting the price action to, I would say at the very least, just go sideways. We could very well see a pullback here. Let's take a quick look at this here. This is something I want to kind of just recognize. I'll send this out on my playout charts as well. By the way, Twitter, Telegram, Discord, I send out charts like this consistently after I review a coin just so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay? But the truth is here, most of the time when you have this continuation pattern like we've seen, we've got 3 higher highs and 2 higher lows to give us our full 5 pattern for Elliott Wave. The next step down is to fulfill your A, which is a lower high, and then a lower low rather, and then a lower high, and then a lower low after. Okay, so keep in mind, if the price comes down here to bounce off to say 0.618, it'll come up here. It should not pass this plane, and it'll likely continue lower. Okay, that's a potential reality here. Now, is that a guarantee? 100% no, but it's a slightly higher probability we're going to see this perform its range of motion, if you will, before it goes in the other direction. You just got to keep in mind, this is tentative though. We haven't officially hit our top yet, so the price could continue higher before it continues lower. Okay. I know it seems very contradictory and kind of weird, but that's just kind of how trading goes sometimes. It's a lot of if, ands, or buts. And at this point right now, we can say, if the price is at this point right now, it'll likely continue to one of these 3 levels. So I'd be more likely to, again, I'm not a big fan of shorting the top. I've gotten bit a few times like that. While we are fairly successful for the most part, I prefer to wait to take a short in a lot of cases. So to me, I'd much rather take a long at the 375 to 380 range than I would to try to short all the way down to that level. Okay. Again, different strokes for different folks, but it is getting closer to an overextended state. Take a look at the 1 hour just to summarize here. Let's go ahead and call it a day after this. We can go ahead and see that on TD sequential. We hit our 9 here previously, got a nice little reset. We're back up to a 4. Hypothetically, we got another 5 or 6 hours of continuation before we max out right here. Just keep in mind, if we do break this range here of 430, 425 rather, we are likely to come back down to retest it or to break that pretty soundly. Okay. Again, these levels here constantly are rebroken and retested. It's an extremely common thing nowadays. Okay. And I say nowadays because, again, the market, the way it's moving, a lot more, Bitcoin dominance is higher. We're seeing a lot of random altcoins surge, and this one's no exception. But the truth is, it tells us here at this point not to consider shorting, because all 3 indications are giving us the long position indication, rather. In other words, with Ichimoku Cloud, if you're not familiar with it, it has 3 separate indications built within it. We got our support over here. So if the price continues sideways, we can expect that to continue upwards. It's a moving average. We've got the conversion line above the baseline that's giving us momentous, indications of what's going on, and the fact that being above the other, it tells us that we have swung bullishly. Furthermore, too, lagging span here is kind of just letting you know when to take your trade or close it. If this comes over here and intersects and the price hasn't continued higher, then there's a good chance you want to go ahead and close it because the price will come down from there. Okay. So again, all green lights here to leave your long position open. I'm not saying to take a long right now. I think it's a little crazy to take a long at this point when it's kind of overextended, looking due for a correction. But I also think it's a little risky to take a short too as well because this coin has a lot of momentum. So I just think we're a little early in this phase here. I'm going to set an alert, just say in like the 430 range. If the price comes up here and wicks up to that level, I might consider a short at that point. But a lot of little factors are needing to happen for me to want to do that. Yeah. So please understand, I think it's a little premature to short, and definitely the same thing for a long to a little late to the game. Try not to be a late long. Okay. Best to be patient in situations like this and wait for a good confirmation. I hope that makes sense for you. Again, I'll go ahead and summarize this in our with our playout charts there on the Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Please help us follow, grow, and if you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is the site. Link down below. Do look forward to working with you. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.